So, even though they're undefeated, are they starting to get some chinks in the armor in the Kansas City Chiefs? Could Matt Eberflus be the next head coach to be fired this season? And are the Cowboys on their way to a top five pick in next year's draft? Well, we're going to try to find the answers to those questions and many more as we get you set for week 11. It is week 11. We're getting deep into November now. We're going to be taking a look back at week 10, look ahead to week 11. We all got that from top to bottom coming up for you tonight on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right about now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, November 12th, 2024. Wherever, whenever, and however you're watching us, thanks for making us part of your week. Great to have you with us. My name is Tim McClelland. Of course, the guy that's with me right now is our Fantasy League Commissioner, John Natale. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I can't believe this whole season is flying right by. We're already more than halfway through.
Oh yeah. They say time flies when you're having fun, especially true in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
All these games that have been taking place and then are already here and the second full week of November.
Mm-hmm.
Getting closer and closer to my favorite time of the year, Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh yeah.
So looking forward to that. But of course we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Anyway, Mr. John Flynn, the host of Hooked on Sports, he's running a little bit late, but as soon as he gets on the stream, we'll bring him in and have him give his insights and all that to and of course use some good stuff. And of course, if all of y'all are watching out there, of course, we always try our best to answer your fantasy questions. So just bring them on and see what we can do. So with that being said, I'm going to take the controls here. Hopefully tonight my laptop will cooperate. Let's take a the look at last week's NFL scores here. You should be popping up on screen. There we are. Starting with the Thursday night game in Baltimore, the Ravens hold on by the hair of their chin to beat the Bengals by a score of 35-34. Joe Burrow had a great day, passing 428 yards. Derrick Henry with 68 yards on the ground. But this number right here is a big one. 264 receiving yards for Jamar Chase. I mean,
Yeah.
no wonder the Baltimore Ravens give up so many fancy points against wide receivers.
Yeah. Yeah. And believe it or not, Jamar Chase had actually one game that was better than that in his career. And
Ah,
one game, I have some notes here. On 1/2/2022, he actually had 266 yards.
ah,
They were playing the Chiefs that day.
That was against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get this screen up here just for a little bit more information here on this spectacular game here. Let me just get the box score here. Let's take a look at some statistical leaders in this game here. if I can get it up here. Still buffering, still buffering, still buffering. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. I think we should have it on the screen now. I've got it here on my screen. There we go.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, that's right. Joe Burrow went 34 of 56 attempts to make 34 completions, 428 yards, 4 big touchdowns there. Lamar Jackson went 25 of 33 for 290 yards, also had 4 touchdowns. Chase Brown was a rushing leader for the Bengals, 13 carries for 42 yards and 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, of course, 68 yards on 16 carries with 1 touchdown here. And I believe he is. I think we can bring him in right now. Oh! There he is. There he is. Yeah, he's already made his way into the show here. Of course, Mr. John Flynn, the host of Hooked on Sports, once again walking the streets of the Empire State.
Yes, it is. What's going on, guys?
Doing all right.
Doing okay. We just started our Week 10 recap, starting with the Thursday night game with the Bengals and the Ravens. How about Jamar Chase?
I know that was an awesome game, and what a performance from Jamar Chase! 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that was a performance of the ages. Only for it to be wasted because the Bengals couldn't stop Baltimore in the second half. That Cincinnati's defense was abysmal. They had a double-digit lead and they couldn't hold on against the Ravens in a game that I felt they really needed to win to keep up and keep pace in the division.
And taking a look at some receiving yards for the Ravens, Tylan Wallace had 3 receptions for 115 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and he had the big one. What was a 78-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter where he was tippy-toeing down the sideline.
Oh my gosh! I mean, yeah, when you make those catches and try to tippy-toe without getting out of bounds, that takes that takes 100% concentration. I mean, that's
yeah. He was also the same one that returned. Remember that game between the Ravens and the Rams last year? It went into overtime. It was a great game. He was the one that returned a punt for a touchdown in overtime to win the game for the Ravens. Remember that game?
I think so.
I don't think I watched it, but I think I saw the highlights from it. But
that was one of the best games of the regular season last year. So credit Baltimore scouting, which another big hit in this guy.
Yeah, and I see on the fumbles, there were 3 total fumbles by the Bengals, and one of them lost, and one was recovered by them. So that was a turnover problem a little bit with Cincinnati.
Yeah, mistakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes on there, but like I said, the Ravens held on by the hair of their chin to take home that one.
Yeah, and also, what do you make of Cincinnati going for 2 at the end? Would you have kicked the extra point or gone for 2 there?
Yeah. I like the decision. Go for the win. Go big or go home.
Yeah, and also the refs missed a blatant face mask penalty that should have given Cincinnati another try, but instead they didn't call it.
Oh no, another face mask call, not called, man.
Yep.
I'm telling you, these refs are just.
I mean, it's like the officiating gets worse and worse every year.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But next game,
Next game, Carolina had to go into overtime to beat the Giants by a score of 20-17. Daniel Jones with 190 passing yards. Chuba Hubbard with a nice total here, 153 yards on the ground with Wandale Robinson with 51 yards receiving.
yeah, and Chuba Hubbard had a touchdown. Also, Tyrell Tracy had 103 yards and a rushing touchdown for the Giants. So he's been coming along in these circles. But the story is the Giants are 2-8. They have the worst record in the NFC, and everything is and all is not well in New York for either team.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Big Apple is just been taking a big bite of it, you know.
Yeah, this is why I was not comfortable picking the Giants this week, and I called it.
Yeah, you got that one right, and
They swept against the Commanders. That was the last straw for me. So yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not picking the Giants until they win a game.
I still can't believe I even locked the Giants in that one.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was one of the best bets of the week because yeah, hey, because it's the type of game that it's the type of game where the Giants look good. They're going to score 30, 35, 30, 40 points, and they're going to screw themselves out number one overall pick. Now they have. Now, if the season were to end today, it doesn't. They'd have the number 2 overall pick behind Jacksonville, and so.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville has a tiebreaker because I think they have like the worst strength of schedule or something.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think that's correct. The New England Patriots went into Chicago and they took down the Bears in a very low-scoring game, 19-3. Drake May with the Patriots had 184 passing yards. Ramondre Stevenson on the ground had 74 yards. Austin Hooper with 64 receiving yards.
Yeah, there was a reason this was my garbage game of the week pick, and it surely was.
Yeah, all of us had that one. Except the opposite result happened. I think all of us picked the Bears, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and this is the type of game. This should have been like a get right game after losing to the Commanders and the Cardinals, but the Bears never recovered from the Hail Mary, and that's what's ultimately going to cost Matt Eberflus his job, and that's what already cost Shane Waldron's job as the offensive coordinator. That move never made sense.
Yeah, things just not going too good in the Windy City, and Buffalo did their business against the Colts. 30-20 was the final score behind Josh Allen's 280 passing yards. Jonathan Taylor with the Colts had 114 rushing yards, and Mac Hollins had 86 receiving yards. So Buffalo they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're 7-2, and they got a big game against Kansas City next week in Buffalo. So, monster game loaded with playoff implications, and for whoever gets the 1 seed in the AFC.
Yep.
Yeah, but I believe the Bills' defense had the best performance of any defense / special teams, because they had a couple of sacks. I think they had a pick 6 in the game as well. So
yeah. How about this one? A blocked field goal at the last second gave the Kansas City Chiefs a narrow 16-14 victory over the Denver Broncos. Patrick Mahomes, 266 passing yards. Audric Estime with 53 rushing yards, and Cortland Sutton with 70 receiving yards. That blocked field goal was unbelievable.
I mean, it's just everything is coming up Kansas City. Another game where Kansas City did not play their best football. I mean, they played So I mean, they played sloppy football offensively. So, but yet it was the defense that came through in the second half. Steve Spagnuolo's defense held the Broncos to just 53 total yards of offense in the second half. Well, and that's what that's what led them to victory. Now, Bo Nix made a couple of nice plays on the drive on nice throws on the final drive to set up the field goal attempt. But if you're on the left side of that line protecting the field goal, you have to play with much more authority. You can't assume that the game is over because you have a 35-yard field goal attempt. You have to be able to block block the defender, and they couldn't do that, and that's what led to the block.
Yep. So Kansas City remains undefeated, 9-0 now.
And big game against Buffalo coming up on Sunday, and I believe everybody's going to see it. It's a nationally broadcast 4:25 game on Sunday.
Oh yeah, big game there. I'm sure everybody will be watching. I'll keep an eye on that one definitely. Atlanta Falcons went to New Orleans, but the Saints ended up winning that one by a score of 20-17 behind 306 passing yards from Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson, my man.
Did you freeze?
He accidentally muted. There he is.
Okay. Like I said, Bijan Robinson had 15 rushing yards. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, haven't seen his name in quite some time. He got 109 receiving yards in that one.
Yeah, I mean the Saints are so decimated with injuries that it takes someone like Marquez Valdez-Scantling to be able to get opportunities, and that's why he's a popular pickup on the waiver wire this week, because the Saints are going up against the Browns team that's had problems covering receivers all year. So that's definitely someone who you're going to want to pick up if he's available.
Oh yeah, I might want to take a good look at him. As soon as I have a chance to edit my fantasy teams, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Meanwhile,
and Tim, also your headphones might be out because your audio is not.
That's just better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just got this new headset recently. So,
yeah.
Anyway, over in Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers got beat by the Niners by a close score of 23-20. Brock Purdy, 353 rushing yards. Bucky Irving with 73 rushing yards, and Jawan Jennings with 93 receiving yards.
Yeah, that was a fun, terrific game. But Brock Purdy played a fantastic game. As you mentioned, that he made some big time throws, and especially later on. But the big fantasy story is that Jake Moody missed 3 field goals in this game, but yet he had one last opportunity from 44 yards out, and he hits one just inside the right upright. To beat Tampa. It was a game. It would have been a disastrous loss for the 49ers because they outgained Tampa by over 200 yards. The 49ers had 413 total yards of offense, while Tampa had just 215. So credit to Niners for finding a way to win, maximizing their margin of error. And they were able to beat Tampa. So
congratulations again, and congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers who went to Washington and just nipped by those Commanders 28-27. Jaden Daniels, 202 passing yards. Sharon Warren had 66 yards on the ground. Terry McClelland, 115 receiving yards on that one. That's one of the most interesting games of the day.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game. There was a lot of activity in this game. from fumbles to incredible plays, incredible adjustments, and but Pittsburgh found a way to win because they were the better. They were the team with the better coach and the better defense, and that's why I picked Pittsburgh to win.
Yep. Minnesota beat Jacksonville by a score at 12-7. Sam Darnold with 241 passing yards, Aaron Jones 88 rushing yards. Here's a name I haven't seen in much fantasy recently. TJ Hawkinson with 72 receiving yards. So, not much to say on that one there. We had the Los Angeles Chargers. They defeated the Tennessee Titans by a score of 27-17. Will Levis with 175 passing yards. Gus Edwards only had 55 rushing yards. Calvin Ridley had a respectable 84 receiving yards on that one.
Yeah, it was a game that Will Levis actually it wasn't that bad. He was efficient, but the Chargers were way too overpowering, way too physical on the ground, and once they had a lead, you knew they were gonna run away with it. But look, the Chargers have won 4 of the last 5, and they're starting to gel together at the right time, and they look like a team that's going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely looking like that. Okay, we gotta talk about this one. The Philadelphia Eagles went into Dallas and just tore the hell out of the Cowboys on a score of 34-6. Jalen Hurts, 202 passing yards. Saquon Barkley with 66 rushing yards. AJ Brown, 109 receiving yards. I guess there's only one thing I can say about this.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. Yeah. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Yeah. Really not much to say about this one. This is just a pure, unadulterated butt whooping.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any better as we go into our hot topics a little bit later. So stay tuned for that there. Arizona Cardinals are starting to look pretty good again. They really down the Jets 31-6. Kyler Murray with 266 passing yards. Trey Benson with 62 rushing yards, and James Conner with 80 receiving yards in that one.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray was fantastic in this game because he completed 22 out of 24 passes. He nearly pitched a perfect game. He was and the Cardinals just completely torched the Jets in every single area: offense, defense, special teams, and the Jets are complete another dumpster fire right now, which is offensive to dumpsters and fires at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, even Devontae Adams, when they got him to New York, something just ain't right. Something just ain't right in New York there. But I'll tell you one thing, another great entertaining game, the Lions and the Texans. Oh! A little too close for cover there, would you say, Flynn?
So, what game are you talking about? The Lions Texans?
No, I was talking about that horn I just heard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. This one was close down to the end. The Lions beat the Texans 26-23 with Jared Goff's 240 passing yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, definitely one of the best running backs in the league with 71 rushing yards, and John Matici III with 74 receiving yards. Detroit still flexing their muscles.
But the big story of the game was that Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions. The Lions were down by 16 points at the half, yet they still won the game.
Jeez.
Unequivocally, in a game the Lions probably lose last year. So I thought this was one of the best wins any team has had all year, given what they're up against, given that it was an uncharacteristically bad day from their quarterback, who threw five interceptions. And yet, once the second half came going, they totally flipped the script, and they rode an unbelievable wave of momentum all the way to victory, capped off by 2 50-plus yard field goals from Jake Bates of the Lions, and it was all sorts of awesome.
You see my fingers? That is how that close that ball came from hitting that upright on that game-winning field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the field goal before that too.
Yeah,
remember that?
I missed that one, but I saw that last one. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you could not get any closer than that."
Yeah.
But another great win for Detroit. And the Monday night matchup, Miami won. They beat the Rams by a total of 23-15. Matthew Stafford, 293 through the air. Kyron Williams, 62 on the ground. And Puka Nacua with 98 receiving yards. This one kind of baffled me a little bit.
Yeah, that was an ugly game, but give the Dolphins a lot of credit. But the Rams just made so many mistakes and unforced errors that caused them to that caused a lot of setbacks throughout this game. So, but the Rams line was terrible. That their linebacker play was not good either. So it was a combination of a lot of bad things for the Rams in that ball game.
Right.
Yeah. Before we go into our fantasy recap, we have a question here from Juan Pena Jr. He traded DJ Moore for Ramondre Stevenson. He still got
Kenneth Walker,
Kyron Williams, and Breece Hall. My wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, Darnell Mooney, Downs, Myers, Madison, and Etienne are on the bench. Do I trade Stevenson for a receiver? He also went on to say he got offered Devo and Waddle for Walker, or should I counter offer with Stevenson for Devo straight out?
Yeah. I think if you're that deep at running back, I think you really need to consider trading Ramondre Stevenson because that's actually what I'm trying to do in my other league. In my other league, I have Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Chuba Hubbard, Ramondre Stevenson, and Tyrone Tracy, and I'm looking to upgrade trying to acquire a wide receiver for the stretch run. So I mean, if Stevenson's the one you trade, I think you gotta go. You might as well go all in at this point because you got to be able to make those gutsy trades if you want to win your fantasy championships this year because that's the thing that's held me back so much, not making the big trade when I need to. So.
Well, that's not. I think that sounds like a reasonable offer right there. That sounds pretty reasonable. So, Juan, that's your answer there. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your question. Spread the word around. Get people to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when our episodes come out. Of course, comes out every Tuesday. So once again, thank you very much for that. And with that being said, we will go ahead and get to the action from last week in our fantasy league. Starting with my matchup with Casey. He got me 125.66 to 19.34. Looks like had good numbers from Justin Herbert and Terry McLaurin, Jordan Brooks. Chiefs almost pretty much broke even with the Chiefs' defense special teams, and didn't really leave much on the bench as far as his players. Probably okay with 11 points there, but not much there. Let's see here. I tried to start Aaron Rodgers, but he totally underperformed, as well as Garrett Wilson. I was disappointed with Isaiah Brown, Mike Gesicki, J.K. Dobbins, almost everybody on my list just pretty much failed me. I thought that I would have a better chance with Mike Gesicki than Sam Laporta, but I learned my lesson. I don't think I'm ever benching Sam Laporta again. And Washington Jr., I had to put him on the bench at the last minute when I heard that he wasn't going to be playing. It left me 24.9 points on the bench for me. So, I wasn't too proud of that. We're both at 6-4. Casey's first place in the Beavis division, while I'm in third in the Butthead division. As we go ahead and take a look at this matchup between Lucas and Natale. And Natale got this one 136 even to 109.14. So looks like you did pretty good there, Natale. Big points from Lamar Jackson again.
Yeah, he's been the best quarterback in the league. Although I might have some trouble down the road here because the Bears haven't been playing well, so I got to figure out what to do with DeAndre Swift.
Good points.
And yeah, I had to. And then I had to make a swap before the week started because the Tyreek Hill thing was shaky, so I had to bench him just in case he couldn't play.
I told you about Tyreek this year, Natale. I told you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I told you he was
I'm still hanging around.
I told you he was going to be a bust this year. That's why I didn't consider drafting him if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I have plenty of depth. I still got Justin Jefferson. I still have Marvin Harrison. Darnell Mooney I picked up a few weeks ago. All these guys have been playing very well.
Good. Not too serious points
luckily
as
I
far
have
as
the
the
depth.
bench are concerned. So you got good there. With Lucas, looks like got decent points from Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Pickens, and the Lions defense special teams who did pretty well in that game. Looking at his bench, not too shabby. Just those points is 10 points from Harrison Butker, so he did all right there. So with that, Lucas has a 4-6 record, fifth in the Butthead division, while Natale is holding on to second in the division with an overall record of 7 and a B. Now we go with Dino and David. And Dino tipped this one by a score of 171.92 to 106 even. Dino had big points from Gerald Burrow this week. Also from the aforementioned Chase Brown. Josh Downs broke even. Cooper Kupp slightly better. Travis Kelce, another good performance there. Austin Eckler. I was almost tempted to just write him off, but he's still in there, along with the Vikings defense, special teams, and Jake Bates with 12 points. His kicking leg. Let's see his. Didn't really have anybody playing because we had 3 of them on the bye. 15.9 points on the table for AJ Brown. 10.3 for Tony Pollard and 18.9 for Russell Wilson. Meanwhile, it's like David, that was a big one right here. Dak Prescott couldn't really do anything there. And of course, about him, pretty much for people with James Cook, underperformance by Devon Chan, CeeDee Lamb, got good points from Puka Nakua and from Oakland. And the Jaguars against special teams. Not much of it is out of his bench, nothing too big. So with that, David is in third place in the BS division with a record of 0.6, while Dino is 6-4 in the Butthead division, fourth place there. We go now to Alex versus Adam. And Adam managed to get his second victory this year, 134-64 to 91-6. Good points from Patrick Mahomes. Looks like pretty much double digits everywhere except for the kicker Justin Tucker. But other than that, not too shabby there. Meanwhile, Josh Allen slightly underperformed, as did Christian McCaffrey, Javonte Williams, Jalen Waddle, Tank Dell. Looks like the only one he had was 14 points for the Texans defense and special teams. Calvin Ridley left Alex with 21.4 points on the table. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy left 23.82 points on the table. Dolphins defense special teams with 15. Wan'Dale Robinson with 10.
Yeah, I mean Calvin Ridley's second garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter saved me in my other league.
Yeah. So with that, both Ben, Alex, and Adam are both at 2-8. Alex is fourth in the BS division, while Alex is fifth. And looks like Andrew St. Clair got the best of John Flynn in this one, 155 to 144-18. Adam got big points from Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson. Hunt and Sutton did quite well. TJ Hawkinson, as you said, he performed very well. Bucky Irving pitched in. Meanwhile, over on Flynn's side of the board, Jaden Daniels got roughed up quite a bit in that game.
I mean, Jaden Daniels didn't make the big play in the game. It was more of an Austin Eckler game. It was more of Washington running in for touchdowns and some missed opportunities for Washington in the red zone.
Yeah, but I'm glad for you that you got Jamar Chase with 49.4 big time points there.
And I still lost to Andrew, which is why I'm pissed about it, not happy about it.
You know, the crazy thing, what led Andrew to victory was he acquired TJ Hawkinson in a trade with Dino.
So when was that? Last week?
Yeah, a few days ago, maybe back on Wednesday when the trades go through.
Oh fuck God!
Yeah, Andrew was in desperate need for a tight end. But, yeah,
and he got TJ, and Dino gave him TJ Hawkinson. Come on, man.
Andrew gave up Cooper Kupp.
So that's pretty fair acquisition, but
Yeah.
So, in a year where we've been starting the production for tight ends, you give up your best tight ends? Really?
Yeah. No, because Dino has Kelsey.
That probably makes sense.
Yeah. Because Andrew had a pretty useless tight end. He had Colby Parkinson, which is no help for him at all.
Yeah, but in my other league, my tight ends in my other league, I had Zach Ertz and Dalton Schultz, and I know having them as my tight ends is not going to cut it in December. So I wound up making a huge trade in my other league where I gave up Bo Nix, Darnell Mooney, and Najee Harris in exchange for Brock Bowers, Jordan Love, and Tyrone Tracy. Now, the first two were on bias this week, which I knew, and I didn't have to worry about it because I had Jamar Chase in that league, so I already pretty much had that matchup won. So I was just looking ahead to the rest of the season.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, Kyler Murray left 28.74 on the table.
Yeah, if I started Kyler Murray instead of Jaden Daniels, I would have won.
Yeah,
I would have been 9-1. I would have clinched a playoff spot, and instead I had to deal with this. So now having to fend off trying to fend off the tally
you clinched it.
I can see.
Actually, Flynn, you clinched the playoff berth.
Yeah. So, but I'm my biggest concern now is trying to get a first round bye, and since you won, you're only a game behind me.
Yeah, but you have a tiebreaker over me. Bear that in mind.
That's true.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts got 29.68 points for Andrew. 29.4 from Bijan Robinson and all that. So Flynn is still first place in the division with a record of 8-2. Meanwhile, Andrew is at 5-5, second place in the BS division.
Yeah, Andrew's on fire right now.
He's really warming up right now. So as we take a look at the standings after 10 weeks of competition, and we still have, there is an X behind, there's an X beside Flynn, which means he has become the first team to clinch the playoff spot with his 8-2 record.
Yeah. So, but you know I'm not satisfied with just clinching the playoff spot, really.
The Cowboys right behind 7-3. Now we got myself at 6-4, Dinos at 6-4. And Lucas is at 4-6. Meanwhile, in the Beavis division, Casey's at 6-4. Andrew has 5-5. David's 4-6. And both Adam and Alex are 2-8. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at our matchups for week 11 here. Well, just like it's going to be a Monday night showdown on Monday Night Football, it's the battle of Longview versus San Antonio in this match.
For your children's safety.
So it's going to be me against Adam. Right now, I'm projected right now at 127.4. Adam is projected at 98.5. Let's see, I got a pretty good with Joe Mixon. Yeah, that's good right there. Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers. I think I may make a few changes in my lineup this week. Meanwhile, Adam has got Patrick Mahomes, got George Kittle. Let's see what he's got on his field. Oh, we got one Rashad White and Tyrone Tracy, both on the bye week. And on his bench, Bijan Robinson's on the bye as well. So hopefully he'll make those adjustments. I think I want to take a good look at what I got here and make the proper adjustments there. So I can get back in here. Let's take a look at this matchup here with Dino and Natale. Right now, Dino is projected at 140.2, Natale at 135.3. No starters on the bye this week. Let's make some adjustments here.
Those are not our players. I think you got to do a refresh.
Yeah, you need to refresh. So if you right click and hit reload.
Yeah, I don't know why this thing does this to me.
Yeah, it happens on my end too.
Okay, so let's go back to let me click back on this one.
Yeah, I think that's better because
that's better. Yeah, I got Lamar Jackson Roadshow. Yeah, I think these are the correct rosters now. It's like Dino has pretty good advantage here. Well, just like the last of this, there's no starters on the bye week, although Aaron Jones is questionable for the game against Tennessee, but I don't think I really see him out on this one. So Natale has 1, 2, 3 bench players who are actually on the bye, so nothing really to worry about as far as that is concerned. Taking a look at Flynn. Flynn's going up against Casey. Flynn is projected at 134.5 to 106.5. And Flynn's got Trey McBride on the bye. Meanwhile, K-Dot and Malik Neighbors will both be on the bye, so adjustments will be made there. See, DeAndre, D-Hop. Okay, let's see. Tight end. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have Trey McBride's my only tight end, so I have to pick one up on the waiver wire.
Right. Looks like Casey's got Fabio Caracay on the bye this week. His bench. So watch those waiver wires, people. Gotta watch them always. All you players out there. Looking at this next matchup, it's going to be Adam versus Lucas.
The next station is West.
130.9 is Lucas's projected total. 117.8 for Alex. Looks like no starters on bye week. Lucas looks like he's very heavy with his running back and wide receivers, tight ends down the line. So Alex may have to make some changes here. 2 bench players on bye this week, so I ain't got to worry about them. I don't know about that count. Maybe Jordan Mason against Seattle. Let's see.
I mean, Jordan Mason's not that much of a commodity anymore because Christian McCaffrey's back.
Oh yes, that's true. I forgot about McCaffrey coming back. So I guess Jordan Mason is back to RB2. So that's how that matchup goes. And then we have David going up against Andrew. And David is projected at 112.9. Andrew at 104.1. And those are the players that they have here. Those are the comparisons. Looks like Andrew has 2 starters on the bye this week, so that's his running back, that's his defensive special teams. I take Biggest crystal ball, so you can maybe go to the waiver wire on that one. So that's pretty much our week 11 preview in our fantasy league. So we got to get to some stories here in the NFL on our hot topics. Starting with the aforementioned, and Flynn mentioned it earlier, the Bears fired their offensive coordinator Shane Waldron after last week's loss.
This station is Westbury.
So I guess things are getting closer now to maybe Matt Eberflus getting fired if they lose this week.
Yeah, but I mean, like this, the Chicago Bears have only scored 1 touchdown in their last 3 games, and just the way they've been coming out flat with slow starts, not coming out prepared, not being excited to play. It is just so bad out there. And just think about how excited everybody was at the start of the season that we have an improved defense. Caleb Williams coming in being the quarterback, but the Chicago Bears for the third time in a row draft a quarterback in a year where their head coach is in a lame duck season where he might get fired, and the quarterback they draft has to go through their second head coach in as many seasons. So it's like, why do the Bears keep doing this? Why do the Bears keep shooting themselves in the foot? It's just an unserious organization that doesn't give a damn about winning, and they think it. And the McCaskies are living in 1985 instead of 2024. So, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. The reason why I did not pick the Bears to make the playoffs was because of the coaching. And now 6 assistants have already been fired from the 2024 Bears, and it's all going to lead up to Matty Eberflus getting fired at the end of the season, and not doing it now because Bears are cheap and they don't want to they don't want to waste their money. Want to spend money to pay people to get the hell out of Chicago. That's just not going to happen.
Kind of reminds me of a joke I heard. There's these kids that went up to a house for trick-or-treating. They opened the door. There's a Chicago Bears player. The kids gave the player their candy. Yeah. That's how bad it is for the Bears. So I do believe I did have Eberflus on my list back in the summer for hot seat coaches. So looks like I'll make coach a person. Guys, of course, both of you guys are Giants fans. Giants wanted to try to get number 1 pick.
I mean,
yeah, at this point, I think they really have to. Moons just isn't cutting it.
Yeah, and also Joe Shane had his midseason bye-week presser today, and he was talking about how he's not now nobody's happy with the Giants going 2-9. He's been going back and forth with reporters and when he was asked about Daniel Jones, he said it's going to be a football decision, and so what that basically means, and the 2 big things I got out of it are number 1, it appears that Joe Shane and Brian Daboll's jobs are going to be safe for next year, which I think is a good thing because I want them to draft the franchise quarterback. And number two, I think that means that Daniel Jones is going to be benched and Drew Lock is going to be the starter coming out of the bye week with Tommy DeVito. I think. Yeah, I think I don't mind it either way, but but
Yeah, we all want
it,
Tommy
it, it,
DeVito, Tommy Collins.
yeah. Yeah, it's been a disaster and yeah, but it all started with Joe Shane, Brian Dable giving Daniel Jones that zany contract, and that contract is basically that contract has basically prevented the Giants from being able to fix all the holes on the roster that Dave Gettleman left behind. Have they seen progress from in areas? Yes, I thought the offensive line has played better. You have young playmakers and Tyrone Tracy and Malik Neighbors and Theo Johnson. I mean, the Giants draft class this year has been terrific. Drew Phillips played a terrific game as well on Sunday. So I was very got to be encouraged with the Giants draft class so far, but right now, I think the Giants draft class, the way they're performing is basically saving Joe Shane's job right now. That if this draft class was another clunker, he would I would have said I would have been on the calls to fire Shane. But listen, on this podcast, and we've been doing this for a while, and I've been doing this since that Joe Shane was hired during our second season of this, but. I've been a Joe Shane truther. I've been a Brian Dable truther, and I sound like one because I was so over the Dave Gettleman garbage and the Joe Judge nonsense. But
Schumer.
I mean the problem with Shermer was Dave Gettleman was the general manager. And the Giants needed a fall guy to save their asses, and they chose to fire Pat Shermer. Now, I thought Daniel Jones actually showed a lot of promise during his rookie season, but he was given two coaches in 2 years, and it was just not sustainable for success.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to see offense improve on, get Jalen Hyatt more involved. He hasn't been involved at all.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help when Daniel Jones can't throw the deep ball. You need a quarterback that can do that, like Cam Ward, for example.
Oh, yeah, that young
That's a good choice. I was also thinking about that guy from the Cougars. I think he's pretty good, too.
The Houston guy?
Yeah, the guy from the Washington State Cougars, where I live. The guy was named Johnny something.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know about Shador Sanders because I don't think Shador Sanders is one that's going to handle New York well.
Well, I guess the message in New York is very clear.
I want winners. I want people that want to win.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's the truth there. The Chiefs are, of course, undefeated with a record of 9-0, but from judging what I saw in last week's game before that game-ending field goal block, I think there might be some chinks in the armor. I don't know what you
They're
guys
finally
see.
vulnerable.
Yeah, they are definitely beatable. But as much as you think about the Chiefs and their flaws, but there's no secret to the Chiefs being 9-0. It's that you need to come up with a game plan during the week and practice it and execute it better than the other team, and it all comes down to execution. So which is kind of what made the Belichick Brady Patriots the Patriots they were because it comes down to making the big plays on third down when it matters most, making the big stops on defense. So this Chiefs team is so reminiscent of some of those Patriots teams with Belichick and Brady. Especially during the first part of the dynasty, where it was more of the defense that carried the Patriots to the first part of the dynasty than Brady did.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I can see it like that here. So, and of course, like you said, Chiefs got a big game coming up in Buffalo, so, or big against the Bills, so we'll see what happens there. We have to talk about this. It was made official earlier today. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is out for the rest of the season. He has to have season-ending surgery on his injured hamstring. So that means it's going to be Cooper Rush at QB1 and Trey Lance at QB2. I gotta look here. I gotta look at the remaining schedule for the Cowboys. I mean, this is not good. I mean, especially with the season-ending injury for that $240 million man. Of course, they got Houston this coming week. They're looking at the remaining games. They're at Washington. Then they have the Thanksgiving game against the Giants.
We could potentially have Drew Lock against Cooper Rush on Thanksgiving Day.
Wouldn't that be something?
Think about that. Drew Lock against Cooper Rush on Thanksgiving. Yeesh.
Never would have imagined that combo.
And then on December 15th, the Cowboys go to Carolina, which if they lose that one, Michael McCarthy should be fired right there and there, right when the final gun goes off.
But it's not just the Cowboy. CeeDee Lamb's fantasy value is going to sink because of this, because he doesn't have a quarterback to throw to throw the ball to 15 times a game. So that sucks if you're a CeeDee Lamb fantasy owner like I am in one of my other leagues. If you're somebody like if you're somebody like Jake Ferguson, what is your fantasy value going to look like?
All right, so it's home against the Texans, at the Commanders, home against the Giants, home against the Bengals, on the road to Carolina, home against the Buccaneers, on the road at the Eagles, and then at home against the Commanders again. Speaking realistically, I think I only see two victories on the rest of the schedule. I see the Thanksgiving game and then the December 15th game at Carolina. Other than that, I don't think I can see another victory on the schedule for the Cowboys from here on out.
Yeah.
And speaking of Cowboys, I had to bring this up. Michael Parsons made a statement yesterday about Mike McCarthy. It said about Michael McCarthy, he said, and this is a quote, "That's above my pay grade if Mike's coach again next year. All coaching aside, Mike can leave and go where he wants to. Guys, I kind of feel bad for is guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great. You want to win games and do great things with those types of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for. So sounds like he was defending his teammates, but kind of maybe throwing his coach under the bus.
Sheesh. You talk about dysfunction about the Cowboys. That's who the Cowboys have been for a while now. You got so much talent. They have good talent evaluators in this league. With some of the best out there, and yet So, and yet Jerry Jones just continues to do Jerry Jones things. And if Jerry Jones was the general manager of any other team, he would be thrown out of the league.
Yeah.
What a disgrace!
There he is. I got sometime after the show's over, I got to go back and listen to it because I think Jerry Jones made a comment about Michael Parsons' comments. I'll have to look that one up. Flynn gave me a very interesting statistic as far as fantasy is concerned. He sent me a statistic saying there was only 3 running backs who scored 20 or more points in PPR settings this past week. That's Bijan Robinson from the Falcons, Chuba Hubbard from the Panthers, and Chase Brown with the Bengals. Just 3.
Yeah, I think there was one. I think there was another one as well. So but it was a pretty bad week for running backs who are owned in a lot of leagues. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery did underperformed. Kyle Williams did not score a touchdown, which is kind of a surprise. Devon Achane only had 10 points. But the best performer was Bijan Robinson, who had 29.4 points. He's moved up all the way to number 3 in terms of the overall running back standings. And in PPR settings, this is his 5th straight week where he scored 20 or more points. Wow. In PPR settings. So 5 weeks with 20 plus points.
Wow.
So we are finally seeing the fantasy monster that he could become and be for a very long time. So props to him. But even though the Falcons didn't win against the Saints because of their defense and then falling into a trap, but my goodness, I mean, it was a simple concept for Arthur Smith last year. Just give Bijan Robinson the ball. It wasn't that hard.
Yeah, they didn't do it last year. Now they're starting to do it this year.
Yeah. Credit Zach Robinson, but the Falcons are 6-4, and they had a couple of winnable games slip through them, like the Pittsburgh game in Week 1. Remember that, where the Steelers didn't score a touchdown instead of kicking 6 field goals from Boswell to win that one, and then this one against New Orleans, where the Saints were able to snap a 7-game losing streak. Now it helped New Orleans that Dennis Allen is no longer employed.
Mm-hmm. So good job for Bijan Robinson out there. Really starting to see his upside now. So I think we've covered most of the serious topics here. Let me see if I've overlooked anything here. Any stories that could be noteworthy here. Dolphins right tackle Jackson set for surgery. Season is over. So Isaiah Pacheco, I can see this here. Isaiah Pacheco is kind of getting ready to get back onto the practice field for the Chiefs here. So.
That would be huge in my other league, because I really need a running back for playoff time.
I picked him up here solely for an IR stash.
Did somebody in your league drop him?
Andrew dropped him weeks ago.
Wow, that might be a mistake. That cost him a championship.
Yeah, so I took him as an IR stash. I had room to spare, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see after CS1 exclusive content on ESPN Plus, looks like they're listed 4 head coaches that are definitely on the hot seat. One of them could be fired here pretty soon. We just said Matt Eberflus. We mentioned Mike McCarthy. Maybe Doug Peterson. And who is the other one? Brian Daboll. So, speaking hypothetically, which one of those would be the next one most likely to go?
Probably Eberflus. So because the Bears are playing the Packers this weekend, and of course it's a big rivalry game.
Yeah, I can see that. Of course, Cowboys have well, I guess it is a rivalry game because they're going up against their most hated AFC rivals. The I-45 opponents, the Houston Texans. So I'd say Eberflus. So Eberflus, Peterson, Daboll, and McCarthy. Big 4 right there. So that's I think that's basically the hot topics for this week. Hey, do we have any starts and sits? I believe I have a start and I have a sit, but I was just wanting to see if you guys had some.
Oh, yes, I did. So I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay, I will go ahead and oh wait a minute, I'm hitting the wrong area. There we go. All right. Here we go.
All right. Once I cross the street, I will do that, and here we go. So my fantasy dud, my sitter for week 11 in the NFL is Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons going up against the Denver Broncos. Now, Kirk Cousins is coming off his second 300-plus yard passing game of the season against New Orleans, but the problem with Kirk Cousins this season is that it's been a kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type of season for him. That he had a 500-yard passing game. He's had a couple of 3-touchdown games as well, but the ups and downs of a 38-year-old recovering from an ACL injury has been on full display here. And he's going up against Denver Broncos, who have given up the 8th fewest fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. So, of course, the Broncos defense has been superb all season. They played a great game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs last week, and I think they're going to be extra motivated to play well after losing the way they did. So my sit of the week is Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons. My fantasy sleeper of the week is Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet going up against the Packers, and the Packers have ranked 23rd against tight ends in fantasy this week, and if the Bears are going to look for some more production, if they're going to want to win, they're going to have to find their tight ends. So I think Cole Kmet is a good opportunity. It's a good target to score a touchdown this week. So I definitely would not sleep on Cole Kmet. And my fantasy must start of the week is going to be George Pickens, the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. George Pickens, two of his 20-plus point games in PPR settings this season have come when Russell Wilson was the starting quarterback. He had 20 points last week, including an unbelievable acrobatic touchdown catch to start the scoring for the Pittsburgh Steelers against Washington. And there's something about this Russell Wilson George Pickens connection that's working here. and they happen to go up against a Ravens team that's had so many problems covering receivers all year. The Ravens have given up the most points per game to wide receivers in fantasy this year, but by a pretty big margin. So, and of course, they're coming off a game where they gave up over 400 passing yards to Joe Burrow, including 264 to Jamar Chase. So I definitely must start George Pickens for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's kind of interesting that you said George Pickens because that's who I was going to have for my start. And for the exact same reasons that you mentioned. I mean, as you said, the Ravens are having trouble taking care of those receivers. I mean, like I said, most fantasy points given up to receivers. So actually, I would drop the Baltimore Ravens defense maybe. But
I have that was one of the 5 defenses I wanted to draft in fantasy this year because I felt pretty confident about that, but no, I gave up on them.
Yeah. But as far as my starter for this week, and this may sound way too obvious, Joe Mixon. In fact, for the rest of the year, I'm pretty much going to start any running back who plays against that Cowboys defense because they have no run defense. And I believe Joe Mixon is ranked, I think, number 2 right now. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, I know he's got to be in the top 5. So that's basically my starter for this week, Joe Mixon. I mean, it's so great that he's doing pretty good in Houston, and I think he'll probably run up and down AT&T Stadium like crazy. So that's basically what I've got there. Natale, you got anything?
No, I didn't really come up with anything, but best I could say is since the Lions is my lock of the week, I would probably just say go with the start of the week would be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's a good one. I'll agree. Yeah, so they have playing against the Jaguars with the biggest spread this week. So yeah, I would agree.
I guess on the opposite side, then I would say Trevor Lawrence as the opposite side. No, sorry. Travis Etienne would probably be my sit of the week then.
I'll agree with that. Anyway, it's time for a little trivia here. So
yep. So who has trivia questions this week?
Yep, I have one. Yeah, mine. I told Tim earlier, mine is going to be is somewhat of a connection with the Jamar Chase's historic night. It's going to be somewhat of a connection to that.
And I have a question. And I have a question that involves numbers.
All right, let's do Tim's first because I am very curious about what the tallies is. So let's start with Tim's.
All right. As you guys know, the Eagles blew out the Cowboys 34-6 last Sunday, a 28-point deficit. Now that is not the biggest deficit. That's not the biggest margin of victory in the history of the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry. 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even close. So my question is, within 5 points, what is the biggest margin of victory in the history of the rivalry between the Cowboys and the Eagles?
Okay, so it's basically just a number. Guess a number, essentially.
Yeah, basically, if you can come within 5.
Okay.
And
Okay, I got a number in my mind.
Okay. And,
Want me to say the number now or say it after?
Say it later, probably.
All right. We'll say it later.
Okay, and Natale.
All right. I have some notes. I have something here. All right. As we all know, you guys know, Jamar Chase had a historic night where he had 264 receiving yards. That puts him at number 19 all time. Number 1 is somebody named Anderson in 1989, where he had 336 receiving yards. Among active players, Jamar Chase has the second highest amount of receiving yards. So my question is, which two players are sandwiched in between him? Which player has more receiving yards in a game than Jamar Chase did? And who's directly below him? 1 and 3, 2 active players. Name both of those players.
Active players.
All right. Yeah, and I actually have another question in the record that's also in connection with Jamar Chase's performance on Thursday night.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. So Jamar Chase, if you include PPR settings where touchdowns count as 6 points, our league for some reason is 4. Hopefully we'll change it back to 6 for receiving touchdowns only next year. But in normal PPR setting, Jamar Chase scored 55.4 fantasy points. The question I have for you is, when was the last time somebody scored 55 or more points in fantasy for a single week? Who was the last player before Thursday night to score 55 plus points in fantasy in 1 week?
Oh,
I think I might know this one. I have a guess.
All right, so we'll leave that after the pick segment.
I guess we could. So, I don't think we have a. Do we have? Oh, wait a minute. We have a question.
Which demands an answer from us.
Oh yeah. Dino. Wait a minute. Dino had a question here.
Oh gosh.
Here's the question. The Bengals hosted the Freezer Bowl, aka AFC Championship game against the Chargers in Cincinnati. What were the temperature and the wind chill at the start of the game? Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to know that?
Well, the wind chill is probably a negative number. I'm gonna go like something random here. Let's just say the temperature probably like 2 degrees, and then maybe the wind chill like -10. Something along those lines. A single-digit temperature and a negative wind chill.
Yeah, but also the way they measure the wind chill has changed over the last 40 years. So, yeah. And yes, I do know what the temperature was, and I have an idea what the wind chill was.
Okay, I have absolutely no guess whatsoever. But I do want to say shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Daniel here. Oh, here's our man Dino. Let's say Dallas fired their coach and the Bears fire their coach. What if the Bears hire McCarthy?
Wouldn't that open up a can of worms?
That would be a huge can of worms. I mean, when you lose a head coach, and then all of a sudden they start coaching your division rival, that's what I call borderline personal. I mean, just like when a player of your team goes to a division rival, That's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
And also, by the way, the NFC East plays the NFC North next year, so the Cowboys will be going to Chicago to take on the Bears in Soldier Field next year.
Ooh. Interesting.
Oh,
Slight, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he says, should I drop Alexander Madison for Jalen Warren?
yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I like it.
No, that sounds good. Sounds good. So we just say, Hugh, we're unanimous when we say yes. Drop Madison for Warren. That's it. Thanks for your question and spread the word on the show. Thanks for watching. Mr. Magic here. Help me out if I should upgrade at a certain position. It's a start, a one quarterback, two running back, two wide receiver, one tight end, and two flex. My team is Jaden Daniels. That's going to be Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. Then you got Jones, Jacobs, Cup, Evans.
Jones is very vague. I don't know which Jones. There's a lot of Joneses.
Probably Aaron Jones.
Yeah, maybe Aaron Jones. Maybe Josh Jacobs, Cooper Cup, Mike Evans, D Hop. No,
Devontae
Smith, Downs, Tillman, and Hawkinson. So he's basically asking for an upgrade at
pretty solid.
Position.
Yeah.
I think Downs and Tillman are a little iffy, but other than that, I think this roster is very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that's.
I don't really think you need to do anything.
No, that's a pretty good lineup you got there, bro. I'd say keep it. Don't change anything yet, unless you have to. So, but thanks for your question. Dashy says, yeah, the temperature was also in negative degrees. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I know those. So we'll wait till after the show to do that.
Wait till the end. Yeah, AKA, okay, the championship game, Chargers, Bengals, and Cincinnati. Okay, so that's what it was. So, Flynn, are you ready? Are you about ready to transfer or something?
No, I'll be doing the rest of the show from my phone, so I won't. So if you can get the picks graphic up.
Do I have the picks graphic on this thing yet? No, but I know how I can get it.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, I think if you do present slides, the picks should come up. Let me see if I.
Yeah, let me see here. I didn't see any slides here. Let me see if I got it on this end here. Slides. You have no slides.
Interesting.
Check my laptop here. I'm kind of working with both my laptop and my browser on my Xbox One. I have no slides. Well, while you're trying to find the slides, Mr. Regis was saying I was thinking maybe trade Aaron Jones and Devontae Smith for Drake London or DK Metcalf.
If you're gonna trade for one of those guys, I would say go for Drake London, because the Seahawks are a little bit of a mess right now. The Falcons are the better team. I would go for London.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, maybe
I put the slide in before I left work, so.
Kind of funny. I don't see it.
That's interesting.
No, I don't. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what y'all have here. I mean, I know it took a quick glance at Natale's scores. That was earlier today. Tell you what, Flynn, if you could call up
Yeah,
the list and send it to my messenger, I'm sure I'll be able to display it for everyone.
yeah, I'm gonna set up on my laptop. Anyway, but I think while we're doing that, we can do the answers to the questions.
Okay.
Another question: do you like Brees Hall or JT the rest of the season? Jonathan Taylor or Brees Hall?
I like both of them personally. Both of them are must starts. But if I had to choose one over the other, given the situation, it's a very, very close one. If I had to choose one right now, it would probably be Brees Hall.
Brees Hall, but not by much, right?
Should I pick?
Yeah,
But yeah, by very little. Should I pick up Mike Williams?
Mike Williams, and if so, should I drop Raheem Mostert or Tyler Lockett?
Yeah, that's kind of a wash right now, but I think you probably have more of a higher ceiling with Leggett. So I would say maybe you could drop Mike Williams. The Jets are a bit of a dumpster fire right now, so I think Leggett is a solid option.
There's your answer, bro. Thanks a lot. Okay, so I guess let's got another question. Hey, just keep those questions coming, guys. We love it. Hey, I just got offered to trade away Myers for Zay Flowers. Also, I have an offer to trade away Brees Hall for Chase Brown and Tyrone Tracy. Please let me know what you think is the best option.
Ooh, this one's a tough one. Both of these are pretty intriguing.
Ooh. Wow, that's a tough call.
Yeah, I do like the upside with the Chase Brown and Tyrone Tracy. If I had to choose one of them, I think the second offer is better. Because I think Chase Brown definitely has high upside right now, considering Zach Moss is done for the year.
Yeah. Gotta keep an eye on Tyrone Tracy because I think he's really starting to maybe do something here. Said Mike Williams is on the Steelers and not on the Jets, so he might have a higher ceiling. Oh. Well, thanks for that, and thanks for the questions, guys. You got some great questions. Okay. J.K. Dobbins and Myers for Tracy and Najee.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy and Najee Harris went on opposite ends of the trade I made, and I thought, and my trade partner said it was a good trade for both sides with that. So I definitely would get acquired Tracy and Najee. I mean, Tyrone Tracy has played really well over the last 5 weeks, so you need to make that trade if you can.
Well, there you go. There you go. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for all these questions, guys. You guys are really killing it today. You're making it. You're killing it. You're good. Keep them coming.
Yes.
Here. So, I guess while we're waiting for the graphic, my question was, what was the largest margin of victory in the history of the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry within 5 points?
All right. Yeah, my number was 31.
So I think my answer, I'm gonna go 38.
Ooh.
So, because I'm thinking of that Week 17, 2008 game where the Eagles just destroyed the Cowboys in a win or go home game for both teams.
Well, the 2008 game, the 38 points, that is the largest margin of victory for the Eagles against the Cowboys. However, the Cowboys have the record for the largest margin of victory in their rivalry with the Eagles. For that, you got to go all the way back to 1966, where Don Meredith was the quarterback. And the final score on that game in 66 was Cowboys 56, Eagles 7. That is a margin of victory of 49 points.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, you go way back to 1966 on that one. But you were right on the Eagles' big margin of victory in the 2008 game.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Magic again has ranked these three ROS, Tyreek, CeeDee, or Flowers. How do you feel CeeDee Lamb or Zay Flowers?
Rest of the season, that's what that means, Tim.
Oh, rank these three for the rest of the season?
I'm not.
I would put Zay Flowers at number 1. Zay Flowers number 1. CD at number 2. Tyreek at number 3.
I mean, as much. Tyreek Hill in terms of his fantasy value, he's number 2 ahead of CeeDee Lamb and behind Zay Flowers for me because CeeDee Lamb might not have a quarterback the rest of the season or a legit quarterback for him to get 15, 20 points a game.
Right. Sure. Now that Dak Prescott's out for the season. Hector Gonzalez, rest of the season, Tyler Lockett or Jordan Addison?
Ooh. Tyler Lockett.
That's a tough one. Probably Jordan Addison I would lean towards, but narrowest of margins.
I don't know. I can't decide. They're both pretty good. That was kind of a toss-up for me. Yes, Natale, your question was, the Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase's, his historic performance puts him at number 2 on as far as active players goes, with the most receiving yards in a single game. So, which 2 players are sandwiched in between him? What highest active player, and then directly below Jamar Chase at number 3? Give me both of those players.
All right, so I'm thinking Cooper Kupp and AJ Brown.
Let's see.
I'm kind of thinking AJ Brown and who's that one guy? AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson.
Oh, that's a good guess. We'll see.
Okay. Well, there was a Brown, but you both named the wrong Brown. There was an Antonio Brown made the list, but not AJ Brown. The person ahead of number 1 active player, actually Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
In a single game, he had 269 passing yards against the Kansas City Chiefs on November 29th, 2020. And then just below him, Amari Cooper. He had 265 yards on 12/24/2023.
Oh,
that was against the Texans.
That was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You guys were close on Brown. You just named the wrong Brown.
Yeah, the wrong Brown. Okay.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. And,
Antonio Brown in a single game had 284 passing yards. Sorry, receiving yards. Excuse me. That was against the Raiders on 11/8/2015.
I got you there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
ready. I'm ready for Flynn's question. I think I got this one.
Okay, so Jamar Chase is in regular PPR scoring registered 55.4 fantasy points in a single game in Week 10 against Baltimore with 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns. When was who was the last player before last week to put up more than 55 fantasy points in a game?
I have an idea. This was a few
I'll
years
go say-
ago.
Yeah.
I hope it was enough. There was a certain player who had 6 touchdowns in a game. With that being said, I'm going with Alvin Kamara.
All right, Tim.
I think I remember Kamara had a game like that, but I'm kind of leaning toward. Once again, I'm going to say Justin Jefferson.
Okay, so you're right about Kamara that he had, of course, that historic Christmas Day game against the Minnesota Vikings. But there was one performance more recent than that one, but prior to last week.
Oh, wow.
The correct answer was Jamar Chase. He had a similar performance 3 years ago in the AFC North clincher against Kansas City on January 2nd, 2022. 55.6 points.
Oh. That might have been the game that I was telling Tim about earlier. That was before you were on the show. Didn't Jamar Chase have maybe, was it 2 receiving yards less?
Yep, two receiving yards less. 11 catches, 266 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was the most recent 55 plus.
That's the game I was talking to Tim about before you were on before you jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Jamar Chase.
Yeah, remember Tim, we were talking about that game briefly?
Yeah. You did.
You mentioned that game briefly.
So, now, speaking of receivers, Mr. Magic has another question. Nico Collins or AJ Brown?
I mean, isn't Nico Collins supposed to be back next week?
I believe he is.
I mean,
he might be.
Yeah, I think he is. Well, yeah, I would give him a little time to get into things. So for now, I would take AJ Brown, but Nico Collins is definitely going to be suitable later on. I would give Nico Collins another week just to ease into things.
I mean, but at the time he was down. At the time he was down from injury.
Yeah, he was.
At the time he went down, he was number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. And yes, D'Amico Ryan talked to the press today, and he said that Nico Collins is expected to return next Monday night against Dallas. So I would go Nico. I would go AJ Brown though the rest of the season because I think the Eagles finally have things clicking on all cylinders. And he was ranked higher on my list before the season than Nico Collins.
Yes, and I do believe that Nick Sirianni's seat is getting to be a little bit cooler now, so everything's going to be fine in Philly. To ask you if you're watching, we need the answers to your question. You said the temperatures and the windshield temperature was below 0.
So we need to answer that question first. So I believe the air temperature was -9, and I believe the wind chill was -59.
Oof.
Oh my goodness!
And I didn't even look at the comments. Did not even look. Ooh, this is actually a really good question for you guys right now. What if the season were to end today? So what would be your current Super Bowl matchup?
Ooh, if the season were to end right now. I would say, that's a tough one.
Kansas
Based on
City
performances
Chiefs.
right now, I would say Lions versus Chiefs.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I think this Chiefs team is vulnerable. I think I'm going to go Lions Bills.
No, that's my second choice if I wasn't going to take the Chiefs. That was my second choice, Lions and Bills. That would be I'd pay to see that. I would. So, all right, Flynn, are you ready to drop the graphic?
Yes, I am. So last week was not a very good week for you, Timmy, in terms of the spread.
Right.
Yeah, because you went 3-11 against the spread, while Natale and I each picked up 5 games. Yep, he went 3-11 against the spread.
I was terrible.
So, yeah, but you did go 9-5 picking you went 9-5 picking the winners and losers. The week before we all went 6-9 against the spread. So over the last 2 weeks, Tim has combined 9-20 against the spread. But in terms of the picking winners and losers, Tim went 9-5. Natalia and I went 10-4. And Natale and I also went 8-6 against the spread. So basically, we picked up 5 games on you in the spread standings last week. So you had a sizable lead, which has been significantly cut. So you are 81-69-2. Natalia is 77-73-2. While I am 71-79-2. In terms. And I'll put this up. Put the slide up after I say. Tim is now 99-53. Straight up, Natale is 101-51. While I am 94 and 94-58. So here we go. It should be 101-51. But I digress.
Right. All right. Well, here we go with this week's picks. We have the Thursday night matchup. We have the Eagles and the Commanders over in Philadelphia. We all have the Eagles winning and covering, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I have the Washington with the points.
Oh, okay. You got Washington with the points. Okay, I see it right there. So we're all taking. I could probably see Washington with the points there. I can see that.
I think both teams have some issues. I think both teams have some flaws. Because I think the Eagles is the coaching, and I think Washington. I just think they're a little susceptible on defense. But I think you're going to see what Washington is made of coming off a loss. Washington 7-3, Billy is 7-2, but I think it's going to be a great game.
Big game in the NFC East there. Sunday matchup starting Green Bay and Chicago, longest rivalry in NFL history. We all agree that the Packers going to win this one. The tally has the Bears with points.
Yeah, I mean, explain that.
Yeah, it's a division rivalry game. I think it's going to go back and forth. I can really see this going either way.
Yeah, but I'm not second guessing. I know Jordan Love does not have a great matchup in this game going up against that Bears defense, but what I think the Packers will be able to do is be able to run the football with Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to have a monster day. I think the defense is going to make some plays, and I think this is going to be the game afterwards where Matt Eberflus gets fired. So with that, not only do we have the Packers winning and covering, guys, do you know what this also is?
Your lock of the week.
Well, actually, as we look at Detroit with a 13-point advantage, they're favored by 13 over the Jaguars. We're all in agreement that the Lions are going to win. However, Natale and Flynn is going to take the Jaguars with the points. I'm locking the Detroit Lions this week. So actually, y'all have to kind of keep it close right there. Jacksonville with the points.
I mean, Jacksonville's played some okay. Has actually played some decent defense over the last 3 weeks. So I think they'll be able to cover.
All right. The Raiders are at the Dolphins. Miami is 7.5 point favorites. We're all taking Miami. Flynn's going with the Raiders to cover.
Yeah, I think the Raiders coming off a bye week, and even though the Dolphins did win, I thought they looked uninspiring against the Rams, because I thought it was more Rams mistakes than Dolphins successes. That's how I interpreted the game.
Mm-hmm. And we have the Los Angeles Rams heading to New England to take on the Patriots. The Rams are 5.5 point favorites. We are all taking the Rams. Natale is taking the Patriots with points.
Yeah, I think the Rams played some very uninspiring ball last week, and somehow the Pats are slowly coming out of nowhere. So why not? I could see this being close.
Yeah, I think you are correct in that analysis, and I think those are fantastic points. But Sean McVay against Gerard Mayo is just not a fair fight. I'm sorry. I know the Patriots have played well the last 3 weeks, but you're gonna see what this Rams team is made of coming off a loss on a short week. I think it's gonna be. It's going to be a good win. Also, the Rams have also played well on the East Coast in recent years. So,
next game here, we have the Browns and the Saints. And the Orleans Saints are only picked by 1. Despite the fact that we're all in agreement that the Saints are going to win and cover this one, I think we all agree.
Yeah,
that
you know also what game this is, Tim?
Yeah, this is our garbage game.
You know what this is?
Yeah.
And we're moving on to the Jets at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Jets are actually picked by 4. Natale and myself are taking the Jets. Natale is actually taking the Colts to cover. Meanwhile, Flynn, is this what I think it is?
Yeah.
Holiday for you, holidays.
Yeah, it is an upset special. I mean, look, I'm stunned the Jets are 4-point favorites in this game, because one team has a coach, one team has a defense, one team has an offensive line, all of them, and that's the Colts. So I'm very surprised the Jets are 4-point favorites, but it feels like easy money here if you're gambling here. Just if you want easy money, just grab the points.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my gosh, I love this matchup. Every time these teams get together, it is downright down and dirty and gritty and to the point here. We all have the Ravens. We all have the Steelers winning. We have the Ravens covering, but I guess this is more than. I have them winning by 4, which is more than 3.5. So this is my upset special.
And Natale's is your upset special as well?
Yeah, might as well be. That's all. There's nothing else left eligible. So yeah.
Yeah, and I have this as an upset special, another upset special too.
And it is because of the exact same things we were talking about. The Ravens having problems covering the receivers. giving up most fantasy points against wide receivers. That was probably the main factor in my decision there.
And also Russell Wilson playing inspired football. Mike Tomlin doing another hell of a job coaching this year. I think the Steelers are going to somehow make the playoffs this year.
And Russell Wilson is cooking again. We have Atlanta Falcons heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. Denver is 2.5-point favorites. Oh, wait a minute. I'm skipping over one. Minnesota at Tennessee. Minnesota 6-point favorites. We are all taking the Vikings to win and cover.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Vikings. I have it 17-9.
Yeah, that qualifies as the garbage game.
Yeah, and that's my garbage game of the week.
Just assuming we use my definition, I guess.
Boy, it looks like more like a huge baseball score right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now we go to Atlanta.
Also, speaking of baseball scores, so about I think 4 years ago there was a game during the pandemic between the Braves and the Marlins, and the final score was 29-9. So which qualified as and that was the first baseball scoregami in MLB in 21 years, and the Cardinals Bears game a couple of weeks ago was also 29-9.
Oh
wow!
Yes, but it wasn't scoregami though, because there were a couple of games in NFL history previous to that. But I immediately after I saw that score, I thought, was this an NFL scoregami as well? But it didn't turn out that way.
All right. Okay, now we go to Atlanta and Denver. Denver 2.5-point favorites. We're taking the Broncos to win and cover.
Yeah, I think the Broncos have such a major advantage at head coach that I didn't even think twice about the talent about this.
Oh yeah. Another big matchup between two rival teams that just don't like each other, the Seahawks and the 49ers. In SoFi Stadium, 49ers are 6.5-point favorites. We're all taking the 49ers to win. Flynn and myself are taking the Seahawks to cover.
Yeah, that was very tough of us to do, but I think Seattle coming off a bye week and San Francisco nearly losing the game where they outgained their opponent by 200 yards. It's just still a little shaky, but I'll grab the point here with Seattle.
And as I will too. We have one big AFC game. Kansas City at Buffalo. Buffalo is 2.5-point favorites. We're all taking Buffalo to give the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Natale is actually 32-31. Ouch, that is pretty close.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the game of the week right here. Personally, I think this should have been the Sunday night game.
This but I think CBS got to protect the game, and this is the game that they have a certain game so that they're allowed to protect, and the obvious choice for that one was this game. I mean,
this game is definitely the hardest one for me to decide. But in the end, I wanted to give the advantage. I figured I would give the advantage to the home team, but I want to cover myself. I want to at least salvage the spread. Should I be wrong and the Chiefs win? I at least salvage one thing.
Yeah, but
I'm taking a strategy here. Should the Chiefs win, I'll at least salvage that by getting the spread correct.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you better hope Tyler Bass doesn't miss wide right like he did last year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Definitely. And we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Now this is the Sunday night game. Bengals at Chargers. Chargers are 1.5-point favorites. We're all taking the Chargers to win and cover.
Yeah, that's one of my best bets of the week. In terms of the spread, I think the Chargers are the most physical football team in the league, and and they're going to bully their opponents to their opposition to submission each and every single week. So look what they did against Tennessee last week, this Sunday, for example.
And then last but not least, Monday Night Football. This is a big one. This is what we call the I-45 showdown between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. Texans come in at 7.5-point favorites, which sounds about right. And believe it or not, we are all agreeing that the Texans are going to win and cover. My score is 27-12. All 12 points, 4 field goals from Brandon Aubrey, and at least 3 of them 50 yarders.
Jeez. So you're basically guaranteeing that Brandon Aubrey is going to score 20 points in fantasy this week.
Brandon Aubrey is the best player on the Cowboys team.
I mean, you never thought you'd utter the word of a kicker in that sentence.
A kicker, yes, a kicker, for God's sakes. I think he played in MLS, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played in the MLS, and I think he played in, he played UFL or the XFL or whatever, but he's the best. He should be getting $240 million, for Pete's sakes. But anyway, that's all.
I got a bunch of Brandon Aubreys.
Yeah. We can take
Brandon
that
Aubrey in every
down.
position.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy.
All right, and I think during the pick segment, some more questions came in.
Okay. Let's see here. DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams for Jonathan Taylor.
That's a hard pass for me.
Yes.
Got to keep that wide receiver depth. But depends on who your other running backs are. So
Yeah.
If you have depth at the running back position, I think you're fine.
Yeah, but then we have another one.
Aaron Jones and Josh Downs for James Cook and McConkey.
I mean, the receiver I'm trying to trade for is Lad McConkey. Believe it or not, that's actually that's actually a trade that I proposed earlier in the week. Aaron Jones for Lad McConkey, but the other side turned it down.
I'm not sure how to call that one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty split. I think it's a fair trade for both sides, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had to pick one side, I would pick the one with James Cook and Lad McConkey.
Right. That's probably different. We got one more down on the bottom there. Rest of the season, CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill?
I can't believe I'm saying this. I love Tyreek Hill in this question.
Actually,
Same
I
here.
do too.
At least they have a quarterback.
Yeah, they have a quarterback.
Can't really rely on Cooper Rush.
Well, for now, he has one.
Right.
Because of Tua.
Yeah, it really should be Trey Lance. They should be starting him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, some of the logic that's come out of the Cowboys organization over the last 3 years has maybe aged 20 years.
Yeah.
I want me some glory hole.
You think you're right on that one?
Yeah, well. Well, anyway, I guess I'm going to have to put a wrap on this thing. It's getting kind of late. It's been a full show. All you guys out there, thanks. Thank you for these fantasy questions. I mean, keep them coming. If you have any more questions, put them in the comment section below, and we'll see if we can try to answer them. We just love just getting all these informations from you, getting these questions, try to give you some advice here. But of course, right now, the best advice I can give you is this. Remember, Hooked on Sports with John Flynn on Apple iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and other platforms where you get podcasts. Just look him up.
Yes,
And
indeed.
don't forget about your show tomorrow, if you're doing it.
Oh yes, the Pain and Game Pick'em show tomorrow, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Pizzle 90 channel. Myself, Lucas, and Alex. We have our crazy little show that we do on Wednesday nights. So
It's yeah. So if Alex can get his Chop Robinson draft reaction clip on there, that would be awesome because Chop Robinson came up big for Miami last night.
that big old Chop, right? That's probably the coolest name I've heard from a player in quite some time. Probably the coolest name since Adam Pac-Man Jones. Boy, did he turn out to be a dud. Oh well.
So I mean that be a cool name. You think Pac-Man Jones is a cool thing with all the dumb stuff he did?
Well, I mean, I like Pac-Man. I mean, I get into old school video games. You know. Yeah.
Waka 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 waka.
There you go. There you go. One of the worst free agent picks the Cowboys ever got. So y'all be sure to check out Hooked on Sports on the podcast. Check out Pain and Game Pick'em tomorrow night. And of course, check us out 7 nights from now. We'll be back. We'll look back at week 11. We'll go ahead and look at week 12. I don't know about you, but I am exhausted. But I do want to thank my boys, John Flynn, John Natale, my brothers. I love doing the show with you guys. Y'all make this a lot of fun. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, this is fun indeed. Australia. One thing we forgot to mention: the teams that are on the bye this week. I know the Giants are on a bye. The Cardinals are on a bye.
It's the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Giants. So that means Tyrone Tracy, Chuba Hubbard, so Rashad White, Baker Mayfield, Cade Otton, Theo Johnson, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner. All those guys are on bye this week. So 4 solid running backs are off this week.
Yeah. I'm an owner of James. I'm a James Conner owner.
Yeah. So in the league where I have the insane running back depth, I have Chuba Hubbard and Tyrone Tracy on bye, but I have Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones that I'm starting.
Yeah. Just wait for next week. Next week is going to be super dicey, super bye week. 6 teams next week.
Yeah, and then week 14, you have 6 teams on bye.
Wow.
These last weeks are going to get really interesting.
Yeah, for the regular season finale. So a lot of teams that are hoping to get into the playoffs, they're going to be super desperate on the waiver wire, which is why you need to win all those games early on in the season to prevent situations like this.
Exactly.
All right, so we covered all these. We just reminded about the bye week team. So you're welcome, Dashy. You're welcome, buddy. So that's it for this show. We'll be back next week. I'm Tim McClelland. That's John Flynn. That's John Natale. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for spreading the word. Keep spreading the word. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you'll know when our next show is ready for viewing. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the games, everybody. Thanks for watching us. God bless you. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.
Alrighty, and see you guys. Let me get things ready. Goodbye.